so much pain. Oh, that all of Europe felt that gangplank.
Yes.
Barrel. It was just boom, and then Yamato and I were really excited because we were like 140 stacks.
This is
sounds
it.
really tanky.
They can turn
And
it.
there was just boom, and then
Boom.
and
All
then,
your hopes and dreams, LEC. How much pain do we have to endure from the LPL? Suning wins the tiebreaker over G2 Esports, the third seed out of the LPL, makes it out as first seed, and the first seed out of the LEC makes it out as second. We're going to take a look at some replays. I mean, it's hard to summarize because a lot happened. In the early game, Jankos got a huge advantage, but Akali also got a huge advantage. And from then on, what happened, Yamato?
It's so tricky because Syndra is already playing with an AP jungler, and Angel actually got the better of him in the matchup, and everything just kind of snowballed from there. And the champion that Suning have with the GP and Akali, whenever these champions get ahead, they can just do too much by themselves. They're going to have pop-off moments, and that happened time and time again in this game.
Yeah, and we're going to watch it again. We're going to watch it again.
I mean,
Here it is.
It's so sick.
I mean, it's so insane.
It's
like,
so
Bin
good.
played that so good, but, you know, it hurt. It hurt a lot.
But, I mean, you got to give credit then to Suning because what impresses me the most about this ending of this game is that in that first scrappy game versus G2, they probably felt like they dropped the ball and that they could have had that and they should have had that. Now, okay, they do let G2 come back in this game, which, you know, they can review another time, but they do get in a very tricky situation where they're up against a very, very strong Senna. They're now up against a Sion that is fed as well, but they make the right decisions and they make the right adaptations. And I think from Suning's perspective, this has been a really good group stage to learn from, and they lock the first seed. That makes them super scary, Yamato.
Well, I think the sorry. I think the difficult thing to acknowledge is that Suning, I felt, played better than G2 in all 3 games, right? And that you just kind of have to accept the fact that Suning has performed better in the group stages. Europe has already had a pretty challenging year overall, but coming into Worlds, I think that a lot of it still believed in G2's ability to bounce back and be able to turn things around. And I think that what we're seeing is that G2 specifically has struggled to fully enable their jungler and be able to properly carry through their jungler. Whereas Suning, this is something that they've been doing all year. SOFM, I think, has been playing phenomenally, but also we get to see some of the standout. Angel had a much better performance compared to Game 1 versus G2. Bin showcased why he is fabled as such a strong carry top lane, and why there were a couple of mistakes from the bot side of the map. I think that we really got to see some of the true strengths and power that this Suning roster does have.
I think sometimes that I'm beginning to think about this whole idea, like an Eastern team, for example, of course, Suning, the way they view G2 is in the light of, oh, this is the team that was the world finalists last year, they won MSI. Facing up against that team is so scary. We always talk about how LPL teams are scary.
Yeah, but
I wonder what's going on the LPL
scary.
desk. Yeah, like the LPL desk, oh, this is the MSI winner and so forth, and the stories probably are scary in itself. And the fact that Suning beat them so convincingly, because I agree, 3 games straight, that just is so impressive. And the questions were always, you know, with the rookies coming into the picture, playing this best-of-1 system and playing Worlds for the first time, what's going to happen? I think they've answered every single question. They are looking super strong, and I think any team that is going to face them in the best-of-5 is going to, you know, be excited about it, considering they're seed 1.
We just, if you're starting to look at kind of the seed ones that are developing across Worlds, all right, let's take a look at these group standings then. In Group A, which is now finished, TL and Machi are eliminated. Suning and G2 advance. And I love when we kind of talk about this, and as from an LEC perspective, this is horrible. And you just see how the goalpost starts to move because of the 2 years and the LEC results, let's say. Now, it's not actually acceptable anymore for you to get that second seed because that makes it so much harder. And weirdly enough, I felt kind of the hope of an LEC deep run in the tournament kind of vaporizing or evaporating rather as this game went on, because you start to see and how much respect you have to put on the name of any LPL representative, and we just have to look across Group B to see what's waiting there. And you know, you don't know anything until the best-of-5 start, but it definitely does seem like a changing of the guard and a return of some old foes and friends from the LCK.
Yeah, I would like to add as well, though, that last year, G2 dropped 2 games against Griffin in the group stage. They got the second seed. They were facing up against a very different Damwon. But just to bring back a little bit of hope, I guess. That was my best attempt.
So the one thing, like, obviously, because we're putting a lot of focus on Group A, the one thing that everyone has always said about G2 is that they're a very strong best-of-5 team. And the hopes is that when you're preparing for a single team on a singular patch, they're able to now use the time that they have to properly prepare. Now, that doesn't mean that they're going to be, I don't think that they're going to be favorites against a potential top esports or a potential down one. I mean, if they draw Fnatic, I'd be like, you're favorites.
I've seen this one.
I've seen this one. But yeah, I think that they've got a lot of work ahead of them. So yeah, it's going to be tough for G2, but huge congrats to Suning. As Yamato's already said, I think that they really showcased that they were definitely the strongest team in their group. And I think that they will be a difficult opponent, regardless of who's going up against them.
And it's very exciting because now kind of the LPL representatives, LGD is still very much alive and kicking in their group. Top Esports is looking great. JDG will likely get through as well. And all of a sudden, you have 4 LPL teams in the quarterfinals. Wow. Well, tomorrow we will continue with the action, but that'll do it from us here. Exciting day. We got our first tiebreaker at Worlds, and that's always fun. Hopefully there'll be many, many more. But that does it for us here in Berlin. So now let's send it over to Dash, Crumbs, Spawn, and Azael in Worlds Cooldown.